This is Tyler the Creator. One of the greatest artists come from Los Angeles, California. And you must know him by Call Me If You Get Lost, or Goblin, or Chromacopia, or Igor. Today we're going to put this man into NCAA as a HB and see how it goes for him to win the Heisman Trophy. If he can win 3 Grammys, we can win him the Heisman and National Championship. So Tyler decides to join the Navy and commit there to be HB2. Going into HB2 against the FCS East. First place he surprisingly holds off on his own. Barely getting yards in, but he's getting the playing time he needs. Being also a receiver on the side, because he's a receiving back as an HB. Getting the switches and getting what's thrown at him, he's making what he could most of it, of his playing time. Be that as that may, he did have a rocky start of his first game, but he was able to stick out immediately and get gains of yardage, no matter if it was a run or a pass play. And with him getting taken out because he is the HB2, when they put him back in, he just proceeds to dominate as a receiving back. But some balls were dropped, but he was able to make the first down as receiving the ball as soon as getting handed the ball. Better than that. Goes back in and then proceeds to dominate more, gets first downs, and just gets a lot of receiving yards more than rushing yards. But the times he gets put in, he makes the most of it. No matter how big yardage, no matter how little the yardage is, Tyler is determined because nothing was ever going to stop him. They ended up actually winning 14-9 on the first game. And then going into the next game, they had to go face Temple. And Temple, this is the part that makes it legendary, because I believe this one, he scores his very first touchdown, breaking a tackle, his first receiving touchdown of the season. And Tyler does really well, and he sees praise. The next play he gets into, the minute they say hike, he gets the ball tossed to him and runs it in for the first down. After being third and short, and even though them booing, he still kept going at Temple University. No matter how big or how little the playing time was, he was able to make every play count. And ended up getting a second touchdown today, a second receiving touchdown, and showing why he's one of the best. And then ended up winning 20-22 against Temple University. And he gets a new challenge to be next up running back. And without a doubt, Tyler's career definitely dominated everything he could. No matter how little the program was, he just had to dominate. No matter how short it was, no matter how long it was, he dominated everything he could. And he surprisingly did very well with the running back drills and making sure, trying to get tackled and hit the end zone. Even though he did get tackled a couple times, he had a lot of gain of yardage. And you know what? At the end of everything that he has done and proved himself to, he did everything possible. He ran, he took the gaps, he took small gaps, short gaps, no matter how big the gaps were, even if it was low yardage. And it is safe to say that he worked his tail off. He was a very determined player, and he had to think he was smart on where he was going to move at and how he was going to jump and juke, no matter what the cause was and no matter what the stake was. Safe to say that he did end up winning HB1 going into the next game against Memphis. Him in his first game as the first running back, he gets a receiving route and then he proceeds to do what is needed and gain yardage. And he did really well becoming up as a freshman. Tyler did really well as a freshman. No matter how big where the catches are, no matter how small the catches were, he was able to make the most of what he had. And he did make an impact on the game. And even getting in between gaps or short receptions, there were still gains of yards that he was able to make. But even though he has a long way to go, it's safe to say that he had a first good game, no matter what. He broke tackles and just did what he could. He did what Tyler would do, and got past people and make sure that he can also play both sides. I mean, he could rush, but he's also a very good receiver, and that's why he's the term receiving back. But they finally give him a run play, and I feel like, and he feels like this run play, it was a good one. He got past everyone. Towards the end, they ended up winning 21-10, and then going into the next game, they had to go ahead and face UAB, I believe. Yes, UAB, as in the University of Alabama, Birmingham. I think that's what it is. Yes, they had to face UAB, and this is Tyler's second game as a full starter. And they took the plays that they have and just try to run with it. Tyler tries to stay open. He tries to do what he needs to do. He just, at this point, moved out the way. Even though he didn't get the ball this first play, it's all good for Tyler. It was going to be good for the next. And then the next play. And then the only thing that he didn't notice was weird is at first, he was getting plays, then he wasn't getting the ball at first. He was just blocking, and he was just leading the way. And he was just faking it off. But then when they took him out, he's like, what's going on? And then he sets up no yardage, no gains, no nothing. And then he gets another play in, and they were able to switch the plays for him, and he was able to get nothing. That's what's sad, nothing. Defense was being really good, and Tyler was getting no gainage on any plays. And the plays that he was dealt with, he just had to roll with it, because Navy's playbook, for him, it's pretty bad. But hey, he did what he could. He didn't get the first down because his quarterback was making some bad throws. And I will admit, this second game for Tyler, it was very, 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 very bad. He was dealt a bad hand. His quarterback's too pressured. His quarterback doesn't know what to throw within the pocket and can't relocate where to throw at. So, gives him another chance, and again, nothing. Gets knocked down and doesn't know what to do. And the quarterback is even confused himself. But Tyler tries to give him another opportunity for him to throw the ball, and Tyler will try his best to be open. And when he got back there, well, he threw it to the right guy. He didn't throw it to him, but he threw it to a guy that was able to get the first down. And when he got taken out, he was just trying to think, what is going on with my team? But the next play that Tyler gets put with, even though it will probably be the same play, he proceeded to try to get the ball handed to him. He gets the ball handed to him, starts running, only getting a yard, but that's all right, because he goes and he gets the first down with a receiving, and then he goes again, tries to get a receiving, and he starts balling out. Despite the score, he was doing what needs to be necessary in this game of football. Tyler did not stop, and to be honest, the stats were nothing, but that's not what he was worrying about. He was worrying about winning, no matter if it was receiving or rushing yards. Next play, he moves up to be a receiver. And the minute they said hike, he proceeds to run, block, go out, and try, and then does not get the first down because his quarterback can't throw. But then the next play, when he's wide open, the ball is thrown, and he gets the first down. And then the ball again, also gets the first down again. He's not stopped getting first downs. That's his specialty. That will always be his specialty. They're down 7, and he think he could score it all, but it didn't happen. He got dealt a bad hand, but it didn't matter because Air Force was next, and that was their biggest rivalry. And Tyler out here making the right routes, and then gets the first touchdown for Navy. And then next time they get put in, first down for Navy. And Navy does not stop giving him the ball. Like, he just gets the ball nonstop. And rather they're passing it to him than throwing, which he's okay with. As long as he's getting the yardage that is needed, that's all that matters to him. He gets the first down once again, and just straight up blowing this team out. And then he gets a rushing pass and then gets his first rushing touchdown. And it was a long 20-yard run. And then he gets the rushing again. And then he is not stopping. And he just gets another 20-yard run. He gets taken out because, well, they're about to beat them. And they end up winning this rivalry 33-0, thanks to Tyler and what he could do and the quarterback. And they do a very, very, very great job. Now loading into the next game, they have to go up to face against Charlotte, and Tyler does not hold back. Tyler tries to get open and gets the first down needed. And the next play he gets thrown. It doesn't even matter because Tyler's there for the first down. You can't stop Tyler on the pass. And then when he gets to run, he gets to run and he does not stop. First down, and then jukes it in and then gets his first rushing touchdown of the game. Tyler's speed was unbearable, was unstoppable, and you could not have gotten him farther, and you could not have gotten him to lose any yards. And even on the receiving, he's still going. First down again. That is his biggest specialty, is the first down. And then even though they end up losing 20-17, they have to face Notre Dame up next. That didn't bother him. All that matters is that he has a good season for his freshman year. And then even though that they got down four, that didn't stop Tyler. Tyler still kept balling. Him out here getting the next touchdown to match up against Notre Dame. And that's all Tyler could do. You could not stop Tyler no matter what you were doing. You take him out for a good minute, and then they realize that we are in deep trouble. They try to run a nice Hail Mary or a nice far route. It couldn't do anything, and they threw it to the wrong human being. They threw it straight for an interception, and it was unfortunate that Navy could not make a comeback from this. And even though that it's not all on Tyler. Tyler did what he could do, and Tyler did a great job. He just tried to ball out as much as he can for the next minute, because it would take a miracle for them to win. And even though he did get the ball and he did make a nice, beautiful touchdown right here, and you could not stop him, he realized that, maybe Navy's not for him, or he could do something else. But unfortunately, they didn't end up losing 23-28. They were only short. But that didn't matter for Tyler. Tyler didn't care about winning. He didn't care about losing at this moment in time, even though losing back-to-back to one program that's around his level of football. He thought about it, and going into this next game, he just did what he needed to be doing, and went up against Rice, gets the ball thrown at him, and then proceeds to just juke and go, and gets them a good 9 yards, and then gets taken out because they realized they try to evaluate this game plan, but the game plan didn't matter, because no matter what plays you give Tyler, he will always get the ball and get it to you. And you don't give him the ball, he'll try blocking. He'll try to do anything necessary to help. That's all he can do right now is help. He goes blocking for his running back, and his running back makes the first touchdown of the game. And that is good for his people. And then now he gets a pass call. He calls for a pass, and then gets past them, and then proceeds to get the first down and keeps on running, gets a juke, and gets a long, good yardage, and throws a 61 yards to Tyler, the creator. And now people are confused because of what is going on. Tyler gets another pass play. And Tyler is a beast for most of the pass plays. He gets the pass play, he runs it up, it doesn't matter. He gets a juke in, and he gets the very first down before halftime starts. And he did what was necessary. And the next one, he gets a sneak run play, and then gets a good gain in. And now Rice is scared for what will happen next. And what happens? Tyler gets another pass play, gets past, and it gets the first down. And then does not stop there for Tyler. Tyler lines back up, fourth quarter. He lines back up and then gets another beautiful pass. And then ends up with one more play on his hands, he feels like. And then it didn't even matter at that moment. Tyler goes in and gets the touchdown. But he drops it. And it doesn't apologize for the lag. But he gets a run play, which he thinks that he can do it. He just wants he asked for the double team on the left. And it does not stop there. And it got all the way back, all the way to the front. And then only one more play he gets, trying to make something worth something, and then he gets a good receiving touchdown toe tap. Ends up beating Rice 17-0, going into the next game. And with their league, with them going into 6-2, they have to be determined to beat USF. And Tyler did try to dive, and he caught a lot of balls. But his receiving game was on point. You could not stop him on the pass, maybe on the run, but the pass you couldn't stop him with. Either you get a nice broken tackle or you get a good first down. And he gets another pass play. He's supposed to hit one side, but then he hits it and then gets another first down. But wait, he has to get taken out because they got to figure out what to do, because they're down. And then they ended up winning 10-6 when it was a close game against the USF. And now going across that, they have to go and advance, and only then, while they go against, they feel like that they might go to the Natty. Did they go to the Natty? I'm not sure, but guess what? They fell short, and Tyler felt it was only right to hit the transfer portal, and they ended up transferring to the Colorado State. And then after transferring, being front back one, being the first running back, he starts his first running back journey into going against the Washington Huskies. And the Washington Huskies did not hold back, and it was a pretty rough game for Tyler. Tyler, being the first running back for this team, meant a lot to him. And when they went in, first thing he got was a run, which he rarely got back at Navy. Going into his sophomore year, he got a good, comfortable run and got his first down, about a gain for 11, I believe. And then he gets an RPO, but it didn't even matter what play it was. Tyler still got back there, 17 yards rushing, and then kept on going. And ended up going for a receiving route, and then proceeds to get his first touchdown for the Colorado Rams, and got more rushing yards, enough as it is. And no matter how big of it or how loose, like I said, he was determined. He doesn't let anything stop him, not at that moment and not at this moment. Tyler got past people. Tyler got medium yards, and he made sure to be a receiving back as well. He can offer his talents both ways. He could be a receiver or he could be a running back. And Tyler got hit with a running shock option, but he thought, you know what, let's see what we can do on this, and then asked for the run instead, and then gets a gain of 4, and then gets a post and a cross. And now, with the post and cross, he gets the pass play. He moves up to be the receiver. And the only thing I will say for him is that there will be a highlight tape because of how many touchdowns this man has made for both teams. We'll make a highlight mixtape. Make sure y'all check that out on TikTok. I don't know what song I'm gonna put, maybe his own music, but it doesn't even matter at this point because Tyler was just making routes. He was making what needs to be needed. The only thing that went wrong was a safety, but that didn't even matter because by the end of this game, they ended up winning. I believe, but 14-5. There was still a chance, but Tyler kept on going. No matter how big or how little the game was, he did the necessary. He went 3rd and inches, and then goes in again and gets more passing, rushing yards. It didn't even matter. Rushing, he was doing solidly well. He's moved. He was just becoming the biggest unit and ended up winning this game 30-13 against the Washington Huskies. And then after that, they had to go up against the Texas Tech Raiders. And frankly, this was probably going to be one of the biggest games in the conference for Mr. Tyler. And he had to be the creator of the game and make it out the chrome. And even though it might get sticky and people will knock him down thinking he was dead, he will not stop. And his first playoff, he gets a receiving call, and then he gets broken tackle and gets a nice hurdle for 2 inches. And he gets a passing or a rushing yard, and he gets the first. Next play, receiving, or it was actually a rushing RPO option. Tyler gets the first down. Well, it was for a receiving yard. And then going into the next, he gets another pass off and almost a first down. Even though they're down 6, that's not stopping Tyler. Third quarter starts and Tyler's still going. It doesn't even matter at this point for him. The game don't matter as long as he balls out. He's gaining big yards in the rush. He got more yards in rush, but then they put him in rushing, and he's already a beast. Like, there's no stopping him because he is that much of a guy. He's a big beast on the field. And then he gets a slot fade route call. And then Tyler has to go to the side. But that was something Tyler was like, that's fine with me. But then they switched it out for a pass play at the last second. And oh my God, he was only short. But it's all good for Tyler because he had plans. And then gets a first down for his team. It's only third quarter, and knowing that they can still come back from this, Tyler was just making jukes and just was doing everything necessary, getting a gain of 3. Everybody was clapping it up, and everybody was hyping up for Tyler. And Tyler did not stop. One point score difference truly didn't make a difference. Because of see how good Tyler can go, how fast he's going, he's not stopping. Everybody's cheering it on for the Rams, but unfortunately, they did fall short by 3. But Tyler did necessary. He did what he could have done. And now ended up going up against the Florida State. He had his mind locked in on the game, and he had to be focused for this next part of the journey of winning a national championship. First game, he gets about a gain of 6, and then gets a receiving, and then gets a first down for him. Another receiving, and then he loses 1 yard. And they only has 6 on the carry, but it's all good because he's on go, and he feels like, you know what, man, I think I can make the most with this one. Let's see what I could do, and then gets a swat out. He didn't break the tackles, but he did get a swat out of him, so he was very, very, very short. But it's all good for Tyler because Tyler's not gonna let that stop him. When he gets put back in, they called for RPO. Tyler was like, we need something else. I need to get the playing time I deserve. And without any hesitation, they called it out. And only time could know what he did. He made the run play, and then he got 3 yards in front. And then the shock option for passing, he did the necessary. And he looked over, asked for the ball, and then ran with it. Nice jukes, and does not stop. And first down is what he could got, and they pointed him to tell him, we are all with you, Tyler. At 9 yards, they couldn't stop him at this point. They don't know what to do with Tyler, because Tyler was the only one who's out here breaking ankles and making sure. They almost mistaken him for a receiver the way he's moving, but he's only a running back trying to make it to his destiny to be that next guy. And being on go and doing an all-go route would be meaningful. But hey, he is the light, and it's not on him, it is in him. And he's never going to dim that for anyone. It doesn't matter who it is. He can support and love his teammates and empathize, but he cannot dim the light. Okay? Taking the 4, giving him the 26 is what's making him great. The first half about to be over, and no one has made a single score yet. And his quarterback is pretty much doing the bare minimum and not doing well. Good throws, but only everyone knows what he's really doing behind there. And then he gets hit with a run route, and then he does what's necessary and gets a gain of 7, and then gets an option for a pass. But then he weighs out his options and thinks, you know what, let me try to be the receiver, and then gets the pass thrown to him, and it still keeps running. Jukes the defenders, and then runs for a good first down, going down the field, having 16 yards, and then going for Pete and going for a pass route or a run route. And he has to decide he wants to run, wants to define his position on where he's at. Took him out because they only gained 3, but that was not going to stop where he was at, because he gets put back in, and then he says, I got to play like a receiver, and they give him the ball, and he had no game, but he had a really good reception. And then when they got him for a run route, oh my God. Tyler the creator, more like the Tyler who will mash you up hater, because he hates on y'all and then still keeps going. He's moved y'all out the way, doesn't stop him. Only 28 yards, but he's still going. And he gets put back in for run play, and it goes in, and then it only gets a gain of 4, but that's all good. And Tyler says, you know, I don't want these RPO options. I want to run the ball. I want to make gains. I want to see what we can do, because we do not need them at the safety. We don't need them there. And Tyler's running and running and running. He's running. He doesn't run away from problems. He runs away from whatever the hell they're trying to put him at.